Well, that escalated quickly. For the past few months, nefarious supervillain has been hard at work in his lair, seen here making a lot of modifications to the interior. The local superheroes have been watching from a distance, trying to figure out what he was up to. Now, normally they'd just bust in and find out, but this time they wanted to be more subtle. So instead, Superbrain called up his buddy at the Department of Public Safety, Commissioner Graham, and got him to run a background check on the building, you know, the one that's literally never used and is in a huge, if not the biggest city in the world. Yeah, that one. Commissioner Graham pulled up some files. No, not those files. These files. Yeah, these showed that there had been a lot of building permits filed for the construction of, what is this? Oh yeah, affordable inner-city housing. And wouldn't you know it, the government was actually paying for it. How is that even possible? Well, according to these papers, signed by the mayor himself, the villain had apparently met with the mayor and other city officials to discuss ways to revitalize the rundown part of town where his building was located. The mayor was apparently very receptive to the villain's ideas, possibly because the mayor had been taking contributions from the villain's many businesses around the city. Even though those businesses didn't pay taxes or follow building codes, the more the heroes dug into this, the more they realized that the villain had essentially bought the city's government and was getting them to foot the bill for his new lair. They confronted him about it, and the villain just laughed and said, "You're too late, heroes. I already bought and paid for this building years ago. You should have stopped me when you had the chance." And then he added, "Also, I already made plans to turn this building into affordable inner-city housing, and I got the government to pay for it, which means you can't destroy it." The heroes were dumbfounded. All this time they'd spent planning to take down the villain, and he'd been using that time to better the community. What kind of shenanigans was this? Was he trying to buy off the heroes? Was he trying to win over the public? Was he trying to do both? But before they could think of a response, the villain pressed a button on his control panel, and the walls of his lair slid away to reveal dozens of apartments, each with their own front door and set of stairs leading up to it. He gestured to the apartments and said, "What do you think? I call it the Megapolis City Housing Initiative. I even put in some soundproofing to make sure my lovely tenants won't be bothered by the constant roar of nearby highway traffic. Or crime fighting. That's actually a really good idea. Maybe if we get some soundproof glass, then we can finally stop listening to the sounds of screaming matches from the streets below. Sure, the glass will cost an extra $300 per apartment, but if it means that we'll finally be able to sleep, then it'll be worth it." The hero looked at each other in silence. One of them opened their mouth as if to say something, but no words came out. Finally, the leader of the team stepped forward and said, "You win this round, villain. But just remember, we're watching you." And with that, they disappeared into the night. The villain watched them go and couldn't help but smile, lowering land values by having a villain lair nearby, then buying everything for peanuts, then rebuilding it using the city's money and collecting rent from the city as well. And last but not least, collecting the soul energy of the tenants. All went according to plan. He was hailed as a hero who had given back to the community. If you want to see another story where the heroes have to deal with the consequences of the villain's actions, check out the video here. It's a great story. I highly recommend it.